Have you ever asked somebody a question or had a larger social or cultural critique, only to have that question returned to you with the answer of, that's just the way the world works? When that happens to me, I always see it as sort of like an individualistic representation of cultural hegemony in real time. Cultural hegemony is an idea posed by Antonio Gramsci, which states that structures of power and people in power don't maintain their power simply through force. They also maintain it through forming a culture around normative ideas or around common sense for certain ideas. Effectively, it's designed to make people believe that the current structures of the world that keep certain people in power are either the only ones that function or the only ones that exist. So culture, media, education, religion are all utilized to take the ruling class's ideology and form it into a worldview that is singular, dominant, and then normalized and internalized by people. So when you bring up one of these questions that challenges that underlying normalized belief system and worldview, it tends to trigger the response of just, that's the way the world works, because there's not really a conscious process of understanding that that's what they're supporting. It's just simply ingrained and internalized. Some examples of American culturally hegemonic ideologies are things like white supremacy, American exceptionalism, meritocracy or the American dream, individualism over collectivism, or the conflating of democracy with neoliberal capitalist republic, these sorts of ideas. And the purpose of this is to make it so that alternatives to the system end up being seen as extremist or unthinkable, to the point where people don't even realize that their assumptions about the world are influenced by said power structures, which means that people unconsciously support and provide their consent for structures of power that keep certain people in power and completely keep themselves disenfranchised. If you're interested in how this idea functions specifically within the media, like a deeper dive into it, I'd recommend Noam Chomsky's work, Manufacturing Consent, and Michael Parenti had a very similar work. I don't remember exactly what his was called. Both are excellent reads. The good news is, because these consensuses are learned, they can also be unlearned and untaught. It's what Antonio Gramsci refers to as counter-hegemony, is the process of challenging these ideas and questioning their legitimacy. Because once you realize that the justification for the structure of the world being the way it is just a story, you realize that you can rewrite that story.